In His Shadow by meniekeime. Chapter 10. Back to Hell. I mean Hogwarts. Draco's point of view. The 1st of September. Back straight, face straight, move fast. Father repeated before entering platform 9 3/4. And I followed him through the magical wall. We were hit by the changes Dumbledore had enforced. Now that the war had started. Mr. Malfoy, we have reserved a compartment for you and an Omega. We'll be there shortly to satisfy your needs, a helper told me, tearing me away from my father, who gave me a look saying, "Touch that poor child, and I will rip off your balls and shove them deep down your ass." I did not need another Omega. Harry satisfied my every need. By the way, I needed to send Harry this week's presents when I was at Hogwarts. The helper walked me through the renewed version of the Hogwarts Express. The Omega compartment was missing completely, and the others had been made a lot bigger, like little suites. My helper put away my trunk, and I sat down on the seat, stretching my legs. After lazing around a little, I realized how I had to look to the poor Omega who would enter this room shortly. With all my limbs stretched out for me, short not really tucked into my pants, they must be thinking the worst, so I should probably make it more comfortable as soon as for them rather than just wasting my time. I checked around the room, finding some blankets and pillows, so I made a small nest on the ground, because the seat would have been too small and the carpet looked comfy. Just when I was about to take some chocolates out, I heard a knock on the compartment door. A brown-haired boy entered. I recognized him immediately as Neville Longbottom, Harry's best friend. "Hello, Mr. Malfoy. I will be assigned your Omega today. Ready to fulfill your desires," the boy said, stumbling over his words and twisting his hands. I went over to him, grabbing his hands. "It's okay, Neville. Just sit down in the nest and we can talk." And his eyes grew wide. Why? Nest already? Oh my god, how stupid have I been? The bunch of blankets on the ground, Neville. It's not an actual nest. Besides, don't only Omegas build them? I asked, helping him snuggle up into the sheets. He nodded and looked at me. "Yes, but some help us do it to speed up the process, you know? Omegas, when they are ready to start mating, start building a nest." And it seems he did not understand me right. "Neville, tell me a bit about how you found yourself in this unfortunate situation," I asked, giving him the chocolate. He started to nibble on the edge while talking to me. "They called us some weeks ago, asking if we were mated already, and I told them no, but that I'm getting courted. They asked if the alpha was English, and I said no. Told me that the courting couldn't count, and that I needed to find an alpha that goes to or went to Hogwarts, or I wouldn't be able to take my newts. And we need to do things like catering to the alphas until one of them wants us." Oh, poor boy. He broke down the piece of chocolate and munched on it down like he just saw a dementor. "I'm damaged goods already, promised to another, so nobody will want me. I guess I'll have to take this year twice or thrice." I sat next to him on the ground and hugged him from behind. The whole thing had nothing sexual, more like a big brother comforting his younger one. "Draco, do you know if Harry's okay? He told me you were courting him, so maybe you know more than I do," he muttered. "Not much. He just started school, and they are most likely still on the ship. He misses you, though." I let Never go, who curled up in his nest and gave me a scared look. I knew he was scared of alphas, so I tried to suppress my pheromones. But I couldn't imagine being in the same situation as this poor boy, knowing he would be at the mercy of random alphas, and when he was going into heat, how will it be then? Suddenly, a light went off in my brain. "You know what, Neville? If you help me explain this whole thing to Harry, I will take over the role as your alpha. We will not mate, and I will sleep in a different bed. But you will basically just put on a show to fool the school. What do you say?" I suggested to him. His eyes filled with hope, and his head bobbed up and down quickly. And it will be fun to explain to this to Harry. I hope he will understand. Suddenly his eyes became dark again. But won't people start to question when I don't wear your mark? He asked, turning his head, and I had to give this point to him. But after looking at my pants for some time, I got an idea. I grabbed my belt. It wasn't an expensive one, and shrunk it until it would fit around his neck, making him put it on. We would just say that I am really possessive, and if someone tells you to take it off, tell them I ordered you to never open it. I will put up my act, and if you put up yours, I explained to him, and I will buy you a prettier collar this week. I will ask my suitor to send me one, so it feels like he's the one possessive over me, as long as I'm allowed to. He replied, "Scared." I felt offended. I chuckled. Of course, you can ask your suitor. Now stop shaking, Neville. I don't want anything from you aside from maybe friendship. He nodded. Now, tell me, is Harry a bear or a dog kind of boy? I hold up the teddy bear and the plush doll. End of chapter 10.